Welcome back to First Take. The NFL offseason underway as teams begin OTAs today. Among those teams are the AFC Championship runner-up, the Bills, and AFC contender Ravens. Both teams face off for a divisional round rematch Week 1 in Buffalo. As we take a look at the Super Bowl odds from ESPN Sportsbook, Baltimore has the third shortest odds at plus 650, while Buffalo sits right behind them with the fourth shortest odds at plus 700. Paging Ryan Clark. RC, will this be the year Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen get to the Super Bowl?
Obviously, I think the thing that's been standing in their way is Patrick Mahomes. And you're asking about two quarterbacks who've never been there when Joe Burrow has. But I do believe this is the year that one of those players gets to a Super Bowl. And if I'm being honest, I have more trust in Josh. I have more trust in Josh Allen is because I've seen him perform on the biggest stages, whether it's the AFC Championship, the divisional round in the playoffs. Standing across from Patrick Mahomes, there was no difference in the way that those two quarterbacks led their team. Think back to last year on the Trent McDuffie fourth down blitz. Josh Allen gives Dalton Kincaid an opportunity to win that game. And so for me, Lamar Jackson has nothing to prove to me in the regular season. Nothing to say to me or prove to me about being one of the greatest quarterbacks of this era, but he has to perform in the playoffs. And when you look at the way that both of these teams are constructed, they are built to win. But the quarterback that I trust most out of those two in the playoffs is Josh Allen.
Stephen A?
Well, I completely agree. Josh Allen is the one to trust because we've looked at, and as I've said on many occasions, whether it's RC here, it's Swagoo, it's Cam Newton, I said, don't let it be you. Don't let it be you. That's the attitude. And so when the Buffalo Bills have shown up in the playoffs, it's rare in the day that we've looked at Josh Allen and said he was the reason they didn't get over the hump. He was the reason they didn't get it done. There's been a few occasions where we've looked at Lamar Jackson and he's come up short. I don't think there's more pressure on anybody more so than him out of the AFC when you consider the personnel that's there and what they've been able to accomplish. Patrick Mahomes is highly motivated because when you get stomped in the Super Bowl the way that they did by the Philadelphia Eagles, certainly there's a lot of amends to be made. Patrick Mahomes has to play better. Travis Kelce has to play better. Andy Reid has to coach better because he didn't seem to have them prepared for the Super Bowl. And I don't know if there's any time in the career of Andy Reid where we've been able to look at him and say that about him. But after they got romped in the Super Bowl by the Eagles the way that they did, we have no choice but to look at it that way. Joe Burrow has been to a Super Bowl, and he's beaten Patrick Mahomes to get there. We've seen Josh Allen go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes and come up short, but primarily because of a defense that couldn't stop him, specifically with 13 seconds left in the regulation, for crying out loud, and they managed to ultimately get a victory in that game. We've seen Lamar Jackson come up short, and he's a three-time league MVP. We've been looking at him and we say, all right, enough's enough. I mean, you got to show up and you got to handle your business and get it done. And that's what we're looking at it right now. And so to answer the question, if you told me, is this the year Allen or Lamar reach the Super Bowl, I don't know if either of them will be the case because of not just Patrick Mahomes, but Joe Burrow, who politicked for and ultimately was successful in this quest to keep T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. So both of those dudes are going to be standing in the way of a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen. But if you had to pick who you have more faith in to overcome those kind of odds, those kind of barriers, it would have to be Josh Allen until further notice.
Okay, so you guys completely agree because, RC, obviously you brought up Burrow and also said Allen. But let me ask you this, RC. What's going to be the narrative on First Take, on NFL Live, on Pivot, on all the shows? Well, maybe not the Pivot. We'll just stick with First Take and NFL Live. What's going to be the narrative if Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen do not get to a Super Bowl this season?
I think it's going to continue being the narrative that they come up short as a team, but it depends on who goes to the Super Bowl. If Patrick Mahomes goes to the Super Bowl again and both of or one of these men and their team fall to the Kansas City Chiefs, it's going to be more about his dominance, about Patrick Mahomes being the quarterback of this era the way that Tom Brady was the. It's if Justin Herbert can get to a Super Bowl, or if we see Joe Burrow get back to a Super Bowl, then it's going to start to show up that these two men that we know will have gold jackets one day, these two men who both have MVPs on their mantle, aren't doing the things that you need to do at the proper time to become one of the all-time greats. We don't have anybody in that all-time great discussion or in that GOAT discussion that doesn't have a Lombardi trophy. And for Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson to be as great as they are individually and never have even taken a team to a Super Bowl, that's underachieving in my opinion. And so it'll still be those people underachieving, but I do believe it matters who represents the AFC in the Super Bowl, especially at the quarterback position.
All right, we'll leave it there. RC, appreciate you. Yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Coming up tonight is the night.
Allen and the Bills finally get to the Super Bowl. And I will point out at ESPN Bet Sportsbook, they are the only team favored to win all 17 games of their season. Is it fact or fiction, RC? This is finally Buffalo's year.
Can I say fact or fiction-ish? Because honestly, I can't answer this question. And I want to be able to give you a definitive fact or fiction. It feels like the year Buffalo should make it. But haven't we said that for 2 or the 3 last few years? And Josh Allen is going to do all that he could possibly do to make this happen. It's going to be about making that play, whether you're standing across from Kansas City, you're standing across from the Baltimore Ravens in the most important moments in the AFC Championship, like we saw on 4th down last year. Can you find a way to finish? That's going to tell the tale or the story for the Buffalo Bills.
Shefty, let me show you what the odds are saying. Despite being favored in all of their regular season games, the Bills at ESPN Bet Sportsbook are only the 4th favorites to win the Super Bowl. The Chiefs and the Eagles are the co-favorites this season, with the Ravens in 3rd. There you see it, followed by the Bills and then the Lions.
And wasn't RC just making the point 20 or so minutes ago that the Ravens are capable of winning the Super Bowl? The Ravens are really good. The Bills are really good. The Bengals should be better. The AFC is loaded, and that doesn't even include the AFC West.
Yes.
Look, one of these years, we all hope it would be the Buffalo Bills year. It would be great to see the Bills win a Super Bowl. This could be the year. Maybe. We'll see. But there are a lot of great teams and a lot of great quarterbacks in the AFC.
Well, and the two that keep knocking on the door, we pointed them out in different conversations today. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and Josh Allen and the Bills, these two superstar quarterbacks, both of whom have won MVP awards and just keep not climbing Mount Mahomes. Is there a reason to sort of lean one or the other this year, RC? If I were to say one of those two guys is finally going to get it done, which one would you lean towards?
I lean toward Josh Allen. And it's because I've seen it, Greeny. I've seen Josh Allen stand on the field with the greatest player in the world right now and go toe-to-toe with him. I saw Josh Allen give this team a chance on a pass to Dalton Kincaid, falling backwards, throwing off of his back foot, and give them an opportunity to win that game, and he just dropped the football. Josh Allen has shown us that he can do everything you need to do on the big stage. Lamar Jackson has not. Do I believe Lamar Jackson has the potential? Does Lamar Jackson